president and founder of the Pontiac Community Foundation. Dustin Mcclellan joins us right now via Zoom. Hey, Dustin, how you doing today?
There, Dave. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. We're the lucky ones. So many people have
That's
suffered.
right.
I joke around because I'm trying to get through this the best way I can. But, hey, I recognize there are people suffering right now. There are people suffering. All the reports that we've seen, Dustin, you've probably seen them as well, that
Absolutely.
this disease is brutal. I mean, you get this thing and you get it in a bad way. It can obviously kill you, as it has way too many people, and it can mess you up for a while. So we're doing everything we can to keep people from running into that circumstance. And
That's right.
I feel fortunate that I'm okay today, and you look like you're doing pretty fine
Absolutely.
too.
Doing well, healthy here.
Tell me
Absolutely.
tell me about the Pontiac Community Foundation. What you folks do?
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to have us on. The Pontiac Community Foundation is a 501c3 in the city of Pontiac that is dedicated to building a brighter future for Pontiac. We engage philanthropy, leadership, and collaboration to tackle Pontiac's most pressing issues. And we really feel like education, leadership development, and quality of life initiatives need intense focus in a city like Pontiac. And so, over the last 2 years, we've been raising funds and starting initiatives and programs to move the needle on those items. And when the COVID-19 crisis came to our doorstep, we felt that like we needed to get into action at an even greater level.
Well, the need is there, and none of us saw this coming. I mean, none of us saw this coming, but it's here. It's on our doorstep, and there's some really, really capable people in our community. I'm sure you heard from Dr. Faust there as you were getting set up
Absolutely.
and hooked up, and what he's clearly doing a great job. We got first responders and the bravest nurses and doctors, but it takes more. And we really, especially here in Oakland County and especially in Wayne County, we've realized that we have our minority communities in these areas are just this thing is hitting them really hard. It's hitting the African American community and the other communities harder than any other community, and help is needed. So where do we start? What are you working on?
Yeah, so when all of what you said is right. And when we had this crisis come to our doorstep, really when the governor shut the school system down the first time is when we realized that our students, our families, our people here in the city would need some additional help. So the first thing we did is we got all of our community partners together, our religious leaders, our governmental officials, our nonprofits and agencies, and just begin to talk, have a conversation about what we felt would be needed in our community, what resources we had to help. And the city of Pontiac quickly pointed to us and said, okay, the Community Foundation is going to lead this effort and kind of convene and collaborate with everyone to get it done. So the first major need we identified was food. Uh, Access to quality, affordable food is tough for Pontiac folks under normal circumstances in a city that some would deem as underserved, a city where 50% of the children live in poverty on a regular basis. Making sure folks had food as their income streams are dried up was going to be critical. So we started with getting distribution sites online. Additionally, making sure our food banks and food pantries had additional resources and food. That was the critical aspect. We also realized there would be other issues, things like virtual tutoring for kids in the Pontiac School District, infant care products, household goods, grief and prayer support. Even now, we're starting to get into a burial fund for those that have lost loved ones in the city. And so we corralled all of those needs and partnered with a web developer, a good friend of mine that started the website mycovidresponse.org. And what he saw was that individuals were out on Facebook and on socials saying, hey, if you need anything, I'll run to the store and get it for you and drop it on your doorstep. And he said, what if we were able to kind of convene all those people together and to have a coordinated effort of meeting the needs in the community. And so that's where the website came from. And so on the front end, folks in the community, it started with Pontiac predominantly, and now it's expanded to all of Oakland County, can go on the website, list their information, indicate their need. That need comes into our system, and on the back end, we've got case managers that take a look at that need and partner that family with a volunteer that can help meet that need. They may be meeting it virtually by way of tutoring and a phone call or brief support if they're qualified to do that. But a lot of the volunteers that are healthy and able are able to pick up a care package from our distribution center at Oakland University and drop that right on the doorstep of those in need. And we've seen literally hundreds. There's almost 1,000 people in our database right now, 1,000 families in our database right now, and well over 750 volunteers that are helping to make this effort possible.
Well, Dustin, I love that. See, now we're getting right back down to people just coming together and helping their neighbor through a crisis. So we did hear on Friday about Oakland University and what's going on over there and how it's become a distribution point for goods, but then getting things out to people. That's where you're helping out. And if you're getting a little cabin crazy, you've been spending a little bit too much time at home, you want to do something good, this is a good way to get out of the house if you're healthy.
Absolutely.
And able to deliver some goods to people that wouldn't get it otherwise. I love it. Great idea. Do you still need volunteers and people to help you?
We definitely still need volunteers. Our effort is expanding now. We've actually secured some additional space at Oakland University to expand the effort. And we know that as this crisis continues, even beyond some of the restrictions, we estimate perhaps at least the next 6 weeks, people are going to need help, possibly longer. And so that means we're going to need additional help and volunteers. And folks can go right to the website, mycovidresponse.org, and they can sign up to volunteer.
Do you have any sense? I know it's kind of totally off our agenda. I don't know if you have any idea, but do you have any sense of whether people have transportation problems too in Pontiac? We just had the Oakland County Health Department medical director on. They've got testing over there at the county offices, but I wonder, can people get to them? I mean, are people getting around the community, or is that a problem too?
Yeah, transportation has been an issue in Pontiac for a long time, and in a city where I think the numbers are 2 or 3%, 2% in Oakland County, 3% in the state of Michigan are without a vehicle. I think it's upwards of 10% of people in Pontiac are without a vehicle, and so we're grateful that the Oakland County Executive's Office has brought online a testing site right in Pontiac at the county headquarters, and so that helps. But in the days ahead, we're beginning to talk about how do we safely get Pontiac folks to testing and/or bring more testing sites to the city, because we know that robust testing is one of the few ways that we're going to be able to get through this crisis.
No question about it. Dustin Mcclellan, president and founder of the Pontiac Community Foundation, joining us today in the broadcast, doing a great job always, but during this crisis, now helping even more by helping to get supplies to people that really need it, and just taking care, keeping an eye on so many other things in Pontiac. Thank you for joining us. Is there anything else you'd like to share with folks that are listening, or any other help that people can provide?
No, I would just say, look out for those around you, and give a phone call to the elderly, look out for your neighbors, make sure everybody's taken care of during this crisis, and I think we'll get through it together. I appreciate you highlighting our work and having me on today.
No problem. Let's keep in touch. Anything we can do, let us know. And Dustin, I look forward to meeting you after this whole thing is over, and we can do it, and maybe not even do it virtually. Maybe we'll be able to get together in person like we used to. So thank you.
Normal, absolutely.
Thank you for being with us today. I appreciate it. Dustin Mcclellan of the Pontiac Community Foundation.